It's December 28th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a city erased in seconds, a bridge that betrayed its passengers, and a twist of fate that changed hundreds of lives forever. Let's begin. On December 28, in the year 893, just after midnight, the ancient city of Dvin lay silent beneath the winter sky. Then, the ground began to move. Without warning, the earth convulsed violently, ripping through the capital of medieval Armenia. Stone buildings collapsed like sand, and the palace of the Catholics, once a symbol of spiritual authority, crumbled into ruin. When the shaking stopped, nearly the entire city was gone. Out of thousands of homes, only 100 were left standing. Across the Artsakh Plateau, the land itself betrayed its people. Hillsides gave way, triggering massive landslides that buried roads, villages, and anyone caught in their path. Bishop Grigor of Aristinri, retreating into the mountains with his followers, was killed when the slopes collapsed around them. No one knows how many died. Historical records offer numbers that grow more horrifying with each account: 20,000, 30,000, 70,000. Some claim more than 150,000 souls were lost in a single night, the toll that truly vanished with the dead. But the disaster didn't end with just the earthquake. With Dvin's defenses shattered, invading forces swept in. The ruined city was seized and transformed into a military stronghold. And yet, decades later, Dvin rose again. Dvin wasn't just destroyed, it was swallowed. A capital erased so completely that even the dead were lost to history. Dvin wasn't just destroyed, it was swallowed. A capital erased so completely that even the dead were lost to history. On December 28, 1879, night fell hard over Scotland as a violent storm howled across the River Tay. Rain came down and winds screamed with unnatural force, and high above the black churning water, the Tay Bridge River stood trembling. At 7:13 p.m., a northern British railway train began to cross. Its lights flickered through the sheets of rain. Witnesses on shore watched as the storm intensified, metal groaning under the pressure. Then, without warning, the central span of the bridge gave way. Train vanished. Carriages, iron, and lives were torn from the tracks and hurtled into the freezing river below. 75 passengers and crew were swallowed by darkness, and no survivors were ever found. By the morning, the twisted metal from the water looked like broken bones. Investigators soon uncovered the grim truth. The bridge had been fatally flawed, poorly designed, cheaply built, and unable to withstand the forces it faced. The Tay Bridge Disaster became a chilling lesson etched in steel and silence, and a reminder that when engineering fails, history remembers, and the river keeps its secret. On December 28, 1972, the draft was supposed to end with paperwork, lines, and final orders. The selective service system had reached into American homes, pulling young men towards war. This day was meant to be the last scheduled induction, one final moment before the machinery shut down. But history intervened. That morning, Richard Nixon declared it a national day of mourning for the former president, Harry S. Truman, who had died the day before. Federal offices across the country closed without warning. Roughly 300 men never reported. Some arrived to the locked buildings, others received no instructions at all. But by nightfall, the moment had passed, and with it, their obligation. In 1973, the draft was officially suspended and never resumed. Those men were never called again. They simply slipped through the cracks of history on that final day that the draft ever lived. History paused for a funeral, and in that pause, hundreds were saved, not by protest, but by chance. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next Eerie dose is just a day away.